Hey, you. Yeah, you. You probably eat in this order. Breakfast, lunch, then dinner. You see, I had an eating disorder. Was stuck wishing I was thinner. This diet, that diet, you name it, I tried it. My weight loss secret? I had to hide it. I had a distorted relationship with food. A relationship that controlled my mood. Mate, you're really not that fat. Wait, you're really gonna eat all that? I starved, I binged, I purged myself. Hey, I wanna look good, so fuck my health. I've kept it unknown and I'm scared to admit this, but fuck it if my honesty helps raise awareness. You see, I spent my life consuming and counting every calorie. Sometimes it just felt like counting calories consumed my life and me. I lost all of this weight, but it was never enough. I had an unhealthy obsession with getting ripped and or buff. I spoke to a specialist who said I was a perfectionist, but who's to say what the definition of perfection is? Over 1 year later, and I'm mostly recovered, but I'll always remember the times that I've suffered.
My name's Kit, and for the last 5 years, I've suffered with an eating disorder. The 3 most common types of eating disorders are anorexia, an emotional disorder characterized by an obsessive desire to lose weight by refusing to eat; bulimia, an emotional disorder characterized by a distorted body image and an obsessive desire to lose weight in which extreme overeating is followed by fasting or self-induced purging; and binge eating disorder, the consumption of large quantities of food in a short period of time, typically as part of an eating disorder. I've suffered with all 3 of these. It started with the thought that my body wasn't adequate. I wanted to change, so I began dieting, without realizing how quickly my body would change. I'd lost weight, but I still wasn't happy with my body, so I decided to take more serious measures. Then began the purging, starving, and binging. The growing concern of my family and friends made me realize that for their sake, I needed to stop. The following year, I didn't feel like food was really an issue. I became less and less obsessed with what the scales read, and I wasn't purging anymore. But something still wasn't right. Eventually, the familiar habits returned and the obsessive behavior continued. My illness started to completely take over all aspects of my life, including college, hobbies, and my social life. I realized that no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't do this alone.
Millions of people around the world suffer with eating disorders and issues with their body image. However, each person is affected in a unique way which is specific to their biggest insecurities.
Whilst we both primarily struggled with our relationship with food and keeping our weight down, others with body dysmorphia, such as our friend Luca, might undergo a completely different experience.
Luca has suffered with body dysmorphia his whole life, believing he was unattractive, and at 15 years old, he began regular exercise.
Whilst weightlifting, he developed bigorexia, a type of body dysmorphia in which a person becomes obsessed with the idea that they are not sufficiently muscular.
Lucas started using steroids when he turned 18, and although he made great physical progress, it took a toll on his mental health.
As he continued to use, negative physical effects started to occur, and for the better of his health, he realized that he needed to stop. It may seem like an impossibly small world that 2 filmmakers in the same class suffer with an eating disorder, but it's actually a lot more common than you may think.
A common misconception is that bulimia and anorexia are largely female issues. However, men are more likely to endure an eating disorder in silence.
It's okay to ask for help, and no matter how low you feel, there is always a way back up.